We're going to take off and fly right quick and see what the job looks like. This on the right is what we cut back in 2007. You see this dead spot in it right there? There's no telling what happened there. These trees right here look like there's some of that stuff that they planted on 20-foot rows. They're not doing that anymore, which 20 foot is just way, way too wide. That's the reason why the rows are so distinct on it. But we've kind of finished this area right here, and we're going to fly straight forward here in just a minute. If you look kind of straight and to the right, it's a little brown spot right there with some greenery around the edge of it. I'm kind of turning straight toward it right now. That is a beaver kill spot. That's where the beavers have backed the water up on that and have killed that entire spot right there. Right there below is where I'm sitting right now, that pile right there. So I'm going to kind of fly this road, and I'm trying to find where Derek is now, because he's moved on the very last track that we're working toward getting to. Every bit of this here that you see that I'm flying over now, we cut all of that in 2007. That's when all that was cut. This happens to be a real low area down in here. It's right along the whole thing kind of runs in a bottom, and there's a pretty major creek that runs down through here. It's called Coal Fire Creek is what it's called. This is a large green field there that the deer hunters have. So I'm just going to kind of turn and fly out where you can kind of see what we cut back in 07 right here. You can get a pretty good view of what it looked like right here and how it's planted back. Since all this is low, anytime it's real low, they'll usually run a bedding plow on it, or to put up a bed for the plant the trees in, and they'll plant them right in the top of the bed. That way it kind of gets them up above the water if it does get really, really wet during the wintertime. And down in here, like where this road is right here, water won't get up on that, but where we're about to be logging, water can get up on it, because we'll be right on Coal Fire Creek is that's where we'll be. So I'm about to spin the drone around, and we're going to come back toward where Derek is. Derek's right straight ahead. If the way I'm flying right now, before I tilted the camera down, as I come up on it here, you'll be able to see this block that we're about to cut, this 40-acre block. It's straight where that big green field is right there. That's it. That's the block. There's a creek right there just inside the woods that they had to put a metal bridge in for us. You can see the pine now right there. You can see all that. And I'll show you the metal bridge here in just a second when we get on the ground. I've got a ground video here coming up too. So this is the 40 right here that we're going to cut. If you'll stop it, you can kind of tell exactly the way this lay. And now I'm pointing back to what we have just cut right there. Kind of flying back to where I took off from. It's a handy tool for us to kind of look at things and see what's going on, especially after the cut, after we've done finished. And it's always good to fly them and check for stuff before before we leave and everything. Make sure everything's all picked up. Now you can see what we've cut prior to that. See it way over the trees right there. And so just enjoy the rest of the video here. So this is going to be the ground tour of it. This is where that really bad pile was right there. It took me all day long to go through that thing. And this one right here too was not easy. You can see all this flying through with the drone there just a second ago. That's the beaver spot out there where the beavers backed the water up, killed everything. And here's the pile that I got to work on tomorrow. We're gonna ride back here where Derek is, where the bridge is. That's our last spot that we're gonna set. Quite like Kevin's got a little bit more wood to run right there. So I couldn't tell, I'm pretty sure I know where Derek was around here with the drone, but I couldn't tell for sure because he didn't have a big enough hole cut out yet. So we're gonna ride around here. All right, we're coming up on the bridge. This is where I thought he was a while ago, where I flew him, but I couldn't see his truck right there because he ain't got anything cut. This is the bridge. This is actually a metal bridge. Just kind of a temporary bridge. Across this creek right here. It drives a bone too, I mean. It's Derek's truck. This is the furthest one back that we need to get right here, and this is the one that we're targeting. If we get this one cut right here, we'll have her done. This is a 40 right here. It's what this is. I done got a stick hung up under my truck here. This is a 40, and it's probably gonna have 4 to 5 loads an acre on this dude here. So it's gonna end up having on it. So it's gonna be loaded pretty heavy on the hoof there. Boy, we're gonna be way back in here. I see the dozer up there now pushing. We're gonna be back in here along a really big creek. All of this down in here, a lot of times during the winter, it'll stay underwater. This is very, very low ground. It'll grow trees really good. And there's only just a little bit of the year that you can get in here and cut back here too, because it's so wet. So this will be the loading deck. The good thing is, with it being a 40, if we set up kind of right in the middle of it, it's nothing. Even if we set up on one side of it, a 40 is only 1/4 by 1/4 mile is all. And so if you set up on one side of it, we can easily skid that. With the 635, we set up in the middle of it, and it only leaves you 1/8 all the way around you. So it's not, you know, not bad. 670 something feet either direction. So Derek's got this looking pretty good here. So this will be home for a couple weeks, or a week and a half or so. So this is not a full bridge. This is 3 sections. We've used this thing before. You got a section right here and a section in the middle, and this one right here. That worked pretty good. I remember we were the first ones to ever use this one when they got it built. And I forget where we was when we used the dang thing now. But we had them back on our job a couple of years ago, and we never did use them on the creek that we were going to cross. These things are heavy. They built these. See the I-beams up under them? You can see where skidders have grabbed them and bent them up. So this is what we'll cross it on, because Derek's done crossed it with the 830. It'll hold it up fine. It'll hold up the loaded log truck. That's what they were built for. Whew, it's gonna take a while to get a truck to get all the way out here into the blacktop from back here. Ain't gonna be a fast process, that's for sure. But we'll get the trucks in here to get it moved. 9 o'clock in the morning. Done knocked out 10 already. Feeding frenzy at the shark tank, boys. And look at the dust. Oh my gosh. And talking like, I think we might get some rain this next week, a little shower there or something, I don't know. I'm about to grease though, get this done here. Look at the dust. So this is Wednesday, the end of the day. I loaded 28 loads today. So that puts us at 100, not 100, oh my goodness. 77 loads for the week right now at the end of the day on Wednesday. I am completely out of fuel. I ran my fuel light on the last 2 hours or so this afternoon. This machine here and Kevin's machine both hold this. They both had the same fuel tank. They both had the same tail end on them too. They hold 268 gallons of fuel. That's what they hold. So I'm filling it. We've got a different pump now that we went to. It's completely new. Dad got it because we go through pumps pretty quick because we pump so much fuel. And we're doing it all right now with one service truck. We normally run, for those of y'all who are new, we normally run 2 service trucks. This is a 5500 Ram right here, 4-wheel drive. We had a 550 Ford. It was an 01 model. Motor went out on it last November, and we've had it parked ever since because we hadn't had the money to get another one yet. Hopefully, right after we get through with this, about the end of the year this year, maybe we can get one. This is a new style fill right. See how it's shaped right there? It's either a 12 or 24, it doesn't matter. It's a NX 3200 series. It's a lot bigger. It's like a pressure sensing thing. Basically, when you shut the nozzle off on this thing, that pump stops. It quits. And then when you hit the trigger on it, then it kicks up and comes back on. Now, we'll say this right here, it was taking me about 20, if I was completely out like I am right now, it would take about 25 to 27 minutes to fuel my loader. Now it'll do it in about 16 minutes, so it cut a lot of time off. So while I'm waiting on this thing to fuel, look at that. These tracks ain't far. The chains ain't far from being gone on this thing. All right, so while that thing's filling, some of y'all probably finna scream, but that hose up there that's on the right, I gotta get a measurement on it. It's about to bust down there on the end of it. Because we're gonna run through Friday. We're actually got B&Gs coming out Friday morning first thing. Our oil cooler, engine oil cooler on the 635 has blowed and it's putting engine oil into the radiator. So they're gonna fix that. We got several things that B&G's gonna do. We'll go over 100 tomorrow and we'll haul a few loads Friday morning. And then they're gonna be here working on the 635, doing several things to it. And then Stribbling is going to be out about 11 or so, and we're going to shut my machine down. I'm going to change that hose there. The biggest thing they're going to do, they're fitting to change my seat out. My seat will not hold air no more, and that seat's very complicated to deal with. And it's an air ride seat, and I need a new bottom cushion on it too. And so we're just the seat's got 18,000, nearly 400 hours on it. We're just gonna put a seat in it. It's like 3,200 for the seat to go in it. And we're gonna put a seat in it. That way I'll get new cushions and all that stuff like that. And then I'm gonna change this hose. They're gonna do a full service on this thing right here for us. B&G's gonna have 2 guys. Stribbling is going to have 2 guys because that cab is very high in the air and that seat is very, very heavy up there too. So we're going to have a lot going on Friday, because what we're going to do this next week on Monday, we're going to try to break a record. That's what we're going to try to do this next week in 5 days.